What is going on, y'all? And we're back for another weekend. We're going to be working on the Javelin again this weekend. Now, if you are new to the channel, thank you for watching. And this is my 1968 Javelin. I picked this car up a while back, and we did a little wheel it run on it. It's got the old AMC 290 in it. Did a little wheel it drive on it. It does cruise around in the yard. Currently has no brakes. But what I want to do this weekend is I'm going to try to fix this corner right here. It's got a lot of rust and the hinges kind of broke away and fell down, and it's causing the trunk lid to sit kind of weird. I'm not going to try to fix all of it because it's just there's too much to fix for one day. I'm going to be using some scrap. This is a 1976 Nova hood. If you didn't watch last weekend's video, pulled that motor and transmission out of my Nova. Small block 350, double hump heads, cam, turbo 350 transmission. Sent it to the scrapyard this morning, sadly. But it was too far gone, so we're gonna piece what we can from here. So let's get you right into it and let's show you what we're working with. So as you can tell, it's still attached. It's just fell now. It might be froze up. We might have to unfreeze it. This side still does pretty good. So we're gonna knock these two bolts off right here, pull this out of the way for now, and kind of clean this up best we can and get an assessment of what we got. Knocking 2 1/2-inch bolts off, drop them. All right, unlike last week, I'm actually going to hold on to this one. Oh God, that hinge is heavy. Oh yeah, perfect. You can tell this thing it's pretty far gone. I mean, the little rail right there just rusted through. The whole backside right here is just rusted through. And that's from leaves just piling up and sitting in these grooves. I am going to knock this piece of rubber out best I can. It's probably going to take half of this with me. But let's get the vacuum cleaner out, suck some of this rust up. Great news, guys. I have determined that anything I do to this car will be better than what's here. Because there isn't a lot left. All right, so after careful consideration in general, just going to be honest here, not caring because this car is so shot as it is, this is what I think I'm going to replace. Probably just going to come through right here. Over here. And down. Y'all don't make fun of my scissors either. They're my wife's kitchen scissors. So sometimes you just gotta have the tools, guys. Alright, so we're gonna get this line started right here. Go ahead and start rough cutting this out. Right there across. Fire away then. Alright, we got to get our first bend line. We're at 90s down. Straight line that down. And we're just going to bend it over. Check and see how good it looks. All right, so this looks pretty good. We're going to 90 down here, and now we need to 90 back straight. And I need to get a measurement off of this other side to see how much. So what we need here is 5/8 of an inch of a 90 down. Now we need to take mind that this is not a tight 90. This has kind of got a little bit of a roll to it. All right, so we're going to come back to our template here, and we're going to mark 5/8 of an inch. And just like in kindergarten, we're going to play connect the dots. Drop the end to your marker. You'll mark it again on this side. Check our bend line to where we're at, and there you go. Pretty close to 5/8 of an inch. So now that we got our bend line, we're going to bend it back this way. And so now we're going to get a measurement off of this side to see how far from this bend can we cut some of this mess off. It's about 1 inch, guys. I'm not going to rebuild this channel. There's no point. It's rusted out all the way around. If I was going to rebuild the channel on that side, I'd have to rebuild it on this side. So what I'm thinking about doing is I get this done and come through and just cut every bit of this channel off. Now, just like in kindergarten, we're going to cut it out. Stay in between the lines. I'll tell y'all a little story while I'm cutting this out. While I was in kindergarten, I was so bad that the teacher got tired of paddling me. Yes, I'm old enough to where teachers actually paddle kids. They got tired of paddling me that they called my father to the school so he would do it, and do it harder than what they felt necessary. So granted, guys, I'm not the best arts and crafts person. So how does that look? I'd say that looks pretty doggone good. It'll look a heck of a lot better than that. So what I think we're going to do here, we're going to transfer it to the old Hood-O-Matic over there, and we're going to cut it out and see what happens. It's either going to work or, well, it won't. Now, y'all, if you're new to the channel, don't feel sorry for this hood. It's trash. It would have made its way to the scrapyard too today, but I knew I needed some metal, and this metal is pretty close to the same year as that metal, so maybe it was made by the same manufacturer. Who knows? Dang it. Alright, so now we got that cut out. Matches halfway decent except for what I added down here. We need to transfer our lines to this piece of paper. And I'm going to do that by folding this corner like that. Line, line. So now I just need to bend this. It's not a true 90. I lied. It's probably more like, I don't know, because this has kind of got to roll up at an awkward angle. It can't be straight. I might have to hammer this in just a little bit to get that bend. So I'm going to bend this down and bend this back up. We got to get creative on how we do that. Alright, so I'm having to put just a touch of a bend in it up. Now it's starting to try to oil can on me. Probably gonna have to put a relief cut in it somewhere, but I'm getting that contour up that the quarter panel has, swooping down into the trunk area. Now, is this the right way to do this? I have no idea. I'm just winging it. Now this is as crude as it gets, so y'all comment down below. Tell me if I'm doing it wrong. All right, let's go for a little test fit-a-roni. I believe I'm about to cut this turd out right here and weld this piece in, guys. So I got the phone charged up a little bit. Run into a spot where it looks like it was brazed right there. Of course, that's still all rusty. Metal's pretty rusty, so we're probably going to blow 10-15 holes. We got a good wind breeze coming through here, so we're going to see how this is going to go. Now, as far as where this was brazed, we're just going to ignore it. Not going to do anything with it now. I got to fix this whole area, maybe, whatever we decide to do. So I'm going to give this the old eyeball 3000 and give it a good tack. First, turn your welder on. Tack number 2 coming in. Number 3 coming in hot. Alright, so now that is tacked on. Probably going to have to do some slicing and dicing. Let me go get my hammer and I'll start kind of working it, shaping it, and tacking. Behind here. Doesn't look half bad by the eyeball, you know. Looks halfway decent. I think what I'm going to do here is get that hinge down over there somehow, tie it to the ground, and lay what's left of the trunk lid down here and just get a visualization of how this is working. All right, I got this hinge kind of set down where it won't be in the way. It's still in the damn way. That line, I mean, it's okay-ish. So it looks halfway decent. I need to kind of bring this out just a little bit more, and I'll get a couple more tacks down here. I'll try to work this and feather it in and kind of hide it. But a little bit of paint, it'll look halfway decent. So I'm gonna tack, weld it in. I did lose my gas coverage in a couple places. Chased a little bit of a hole down here because you can see the rust is pretty much taking it away, but I'll worry about that if I ever go to fix this part. Probably not. So I'm gonna get the roll lock in here and knock all this down, kind of clean it up just a little bit, put the DA on it, paint it, and then if we have time, maybe we'll start trying to tackle this right here. I don't know what we're gonna do there, but we'll try to figure it out. All right, so we got this piece looking halfway decent. It works for me. It's good enough. There's about 20 pounds of Bondo right here, but before we go in tonight, I want to kind of try to tackle this corner right here just to finish it out, you know, whatever. There's a braze right here, so I'm probably going to wind up having to cut this piece out later and do a little patch, but I think I'm just going to shoot a straight line, cut, build a template, weld it in. Now I'm not going to bore you to death of building a template. We'll check back up together whenever I got the piece starting to try to fit. All right, y'all, so I got my little template cut out. I need to add, I got some marks here to add some length to a couple places, but roughly that's what it's going to be. Now you'll get the better eye view for it whenever I cut it out of metal and kind of shape it. Now I did learn a lesson between this time and last time. clean the piece of metal up first so you don't have to work as hard working it, cleaning it, so you get a good surface to prime and paint. Alright, so we've made it to the part of the program where I'm running out of time, and I've got this close enough, and I'm just going to start welding it and getting it tacked in. Helmet's not on, so I'm now blind for the remainder. Cut that off right there, and then kind of try to fit it in. This is a really aggravating spot right here. I'm trying to get it right, you know. All right, we got one last little spot to patch, and then we can grind it all and call it good. All right, I got my patch in. I mean, it looks pretty good. I wound up chasing a giant rust hole right there. I just kind of ground it out as much as I could and then filled a gap. I had to get creative over here and all that mess, but all in all, it looks okay. So we'll catch back up tomorrow, and I'm gonna put some primer on it and paint it and, you know, just make it look halfway decent. So see you in just a minute. All right, y'all, Sunday afternoon, just got out of church. We got a little bit of time. We're gonna knock this out real quick. I stopped by the paint supply house on the way here, Walmart, and I picked up some primer, and I picked up some, I think it's called something wine. I don't know. The cap looked closely matched the car. So I'm gonna get the roll lock, and I'm gonna finish cleaning this up just a little bit, and we'll start laying down some primer. So I've got this little electric DA, and it does okay. I mean, it's not perfect, but I ain't got all the body man tools that everybody else has. I got what I need. So this is about as much body work as I'm going to do to it. I'm probably just going to knock off this little bit right here where it rusted because of the rain last night. And I want to see about mounting the hinge, and then I'm going to paint and prime everything. All right, so I got this kind of close. I might hit it with a DA again here in just a little bit. I went through and cleaned up the hinge as much as I can. Y'all comment down below. I think that's brazing. I don't know. It's kind of got like a gold hue to it. But I mean, it's pretty well rusted through and about gone. So I'm just gonna tack it in place where they had it. And then I'll probably take a measurement off of that side somehow, and try to line it up top and figure out a way to tack it up top, because everything up there is rusted through and gone too. So y'all can see how whatever they use to tack it is kind of somewhat holding it. That's why I didn't want to knock it down all the way. Going live. All right, so it's holding itself in place where it was. So now I'm gonna get a look and see what I gotta do for the top part. All right, so what I've come up with is that it should be 7.5 inches this way, and then 8.5 inches down. And that's from measuring off the opposite side. I cut a little shim here. It's just a piece of 3/16 mild steel. And I'm gonna shove up on this plate. I don't really have the height aspect of it, but I'm gonna guess and hope that I have enough adjustment in the actual trunk lid itself to make it shut halfway decent. I mean, it is what it is. So I'm gonna just kind of get it close and tack it up and weld it out. All right, so there we go. Got the trunk lid installed. It kind of catches just a touch, but what I wound up having to do is put a nut in this corner. I know you guys can't really see it. I couldn't see it to weld it, but I had to put a nut in that corner, and then that kind of spaced it down and then moved it over to match that side, and it closes. So I've been messing with it a little bit, trying to get the gaps a little bit better. It's still kind of messed up over there and kind of high over here, but I added just a touch of a spacer on that corner to kind of clean it up, and whenever I reinstall it, you know, I'll shift it. But I mean, for who it's for, it works. So since I've been working this and all that, I'm going to go ahead and clean it up just a touch. Yeah, it'll be all right. I'm going to use some brake clean, get the oil off of it. Go through this rust hole, bend that down. There we go. Oh, you'd like a Manhattan? Please, let me shake that up for you. Whew, I've got a headache now. So it says 2 minutes. Set the clock, boys. All right, primer has dried enough-ish to where I'll feel comfortable putting a coat of, let's see here, what is this? Satin, something wine, whatever. The color, it halfway matches, so let's go ahead, do a little light dusting coat on it. Does not match at all. Maybe it'll dry a little bit better. It looks, so that's what it's supposed to look like, and that's what it looks like on the car. So maybe it'll dry and look a little bit better, but right now that looks horrible. While we wait, I'm just going to repair this rust right here. Go ahead and fix it up. Yeah, let me get that in there. Yeah. Yep. Fixing rust, y'all. Let's fix some of this rust right here. Yeah. That looks good. Yeah. Fixing it up. Yeah. I do declare. That looks better to me. Oh gosh. I'm gonna give this a minute to dry, and then we're gonna slap the trunk lid back on. Ugh. Oh, dang it. Got paint on my good pants. There you go. All it took was 2 days, a welding machine, and some inspiration to make it still look like crap. That's going to do it for this weekend, guys. I'd say it turned out pretty good. I mean, I'm nobody guy, so I really don't know how to do it or what I'm doing, but I just got out here and I tried. I won't need to know how to do this, so. But y'all comment down below. Tell me what you want to, maybe you want me to do some more rust repair to the Javelin next weekend, or maybe I can try to find some brake hardware and try to get the brakes working. Still got the engine in the shop that needs to be tore down-ish and try to get running, so maybe we'll do that. But y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the little bell thing. Hey, I appreciate y'all for watching. See you next weekend.